Yeah, so I see it ejects it at the back.
And so if you had all your cases cleaned and prepped, ready to go, this process would be extremely quick. It would just literally be like that.
Neiven.
Hey, how you doing, Marcel? How's it going?
I'm good. We have something for the audience today. What's happening?
Oh yeah, you're right here in my shop, and then we're going to reload some 223 Remington for a AR-15 rifle. And then this is some good information for some of you guys who are thinking about getting into reloading, or maybe you're already into it and you haven't started. And we're just going to go over some of the most basic steps, you know, and then we're going to run you through the various stations of the process, you know, from bare shells, you know, that haven't been primed, that haven't been prepared, that haven't been resized, and then with powder and bullet, and then we're gonna make it. We're gonna show you guys how easy it can be once you get started.
All right, let's get to it.
All right, first things first is always safety first. All right, safety glasses, gloves. Take the necessary steps. Make sure your countertop is clean, organized, and most important thing is remember you always have to know your powder loads. All right, that's important. Never memorize anything. Always double check. Triple check, have your scales, have your gauges, have all your prep equipment. That's the most important thing. Safety first. Double check, triple check. All right, so here we go. First things first. We gotta prepare and deburr the raw case. So this is something I just picked up off the ground, you know, and then I'm gonna prepare to reuse it. The first station, we'll deburr the inside of the case. Second station, we'll deburr it outside. Third station, we'll deburr the primer pocket because some of you enthusiasts love using military brass with swedged primer pockets. Primer pocket uniformer, primer pocket deburr. So here we go. First case. You don't gotta press hard. Bada bing, bada boom. Just gonna shave off a little bit of metal in there. And this is the most important step right here, is to get this primer pocket uniform. And usually, if it comes out of this real easy, your primer's gonna go in real easy. So you can look inside of there, it's nice and deburred.
Yeah.
Nice and smooth. And then we've already did that for these 5 cases right here. So the process is just the same for the remaining 5. And then now, our next step would be to insert a fresh primer. This is just the way that I do it. You guys could develop your own steps, you know, that's just the way that I do it. However you choose to do it, you know, that's on you. But, all right, so we get our fresh primers. We got our RCBS hand priming tool right here, and see?
That's cool.
And then the most important thing is that, look, it's face up like that. So if it was upside down, guess what? It wouldn't light off when you pull the trigger.
Yeah.
Or if you didn't put a primer inside the case, your powder would just spill out. See that? Goes in nice and smooth, nice and uniform.
Hold it still.
Yep.
Yeah, there we go.
That's our first one. Here's our second one. And never point this towards you, just point it in the direction away from you, because if there is a cook-off, you know, it's not gonna blind you, because it could flash. So we don't want that, right? Safety first. Most important thing is that we're safe here in the shop, we're being productive, and we're making, see that? Right there didn't go in that well. So we gotta take that out. Look at that, that got stuck.
See, hold it steady.
See that? Those are those swedged primer pockets right there that does that.
Okay.
So we don't try to force nothing. Well, I'm just not gonna use this case, but I can get it out for the viewers and show them how I get it out. So if you have something like that happens, I'm gonna show you how to get that out real quick. A little trick out there. Zoomed in on that. So that tends to happen with the military brass with swedged primer pockets. You have to remove the swedge. Let's get a pair of needle nose, pop it out, and we're not going to reuse that. Primers are cheap. It's better safe than sorry than to have an accident, right? Or to damage your weapon. We don't want that. So we're going to try it again, get it nice and uniform. Let's see what we got here. Deburr it one more time. Yeah, that's we got some guys on the range that shoot military brass. They believe that it's going to give them some sort of advantage, that it's better than factory ammo that you get at Walmart. there's no particular advantage to that. It just makes it harder for a guy like me to reload the cases. So we got our first 5 primed. First 5 cases primed.
Why don't you give everybody a little background, and even into how you got into the guns in the first place?
The reason was I've always been an enthusiast since I was a kid, and then when I became of age, I purchased my first firearm, and then I was actually exposed to it in the military. So I'm actually a combat veteran. I have 11 years of naval experience, and I worked on aircraft. That was my job. So I was a technician first, a soldier second, a fireman third, right, and then an emergency crewman fourth. So we have various jobs in the military, and we had to qualify on the guns. And the most important thing that we always preached was safety, 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 safety. And then for me, I just use it for recreation. I don't hunt animals. I don't use it for anything that's inappropriate. I just target shoot just for recreation, and I reload for recreation. So this is some good, clean fun. You're being productive, you're learning something, you're exercising that brain muscle, which is really important. It's important to do that. It's better to sit on the couch eating potato chips, watching a football game. That's just my personal preference. I don't have anything against anybody that does that, but for me, it's not a productive use of time. So this is pretty productive. I save a little bit of money.
All right, let's jump to the next step now. So we got 5 casings prepped.
So we're gonna put them right inside of here, and we're gonna oil the cases. We gotta oil the cases for them to fit through the resizer. So we spray a little oil on it like that, and we're gonna run them through a resizer. So what this does is it resizes the case to factory specification. And so that was a little tough, and then the second one, go through the next station, second one. And then the thing is with this, as you're resizing your cases, you gotta screw down your die to a preset depth. And so as we're going up right here, if you get a shot of this, Marcel, you gotta screw it down to full. So in order for it to full length size your case, it has to go all the way up and barely touch the bottom right here.
Whereabouts?
It barely touches the bottom right there. I mean, there's no camming over, so they say. So it barely touches. So that's how we know our case has been fully resized to factory specification. And you don't want to.
Yeah, you're not jamming it and not getting stuck. You're not going like. You're just bottoming out.
It's bottoming out just barely, and see, everything goes in smooth. You don't want to have to force anything. You don't want to have it get stuck halfway, because it's going to be a pain in the butt to take out. And then the other thing is also with this, take your time, do it right. Take your time, trust me. And I'm going to give you an example. If this case wasn't resized to factory specification, I'm going to put it right there. I'm going to grab a raw projectile. If this wasn't resized properly, this projectile would just slide in there like that. See that? There's no tension on that, right? It's not going to catch it. And now look, these ones have been resized, and look, that projectile sits firmly on top.
And then you would press it in, yeah.
And you'd press it in. So this one,
it would press it in right to those marks on the bullet?
No, not necessarily.
Just like close to it?
Yeah, we have like a...
Show everyone the marks here on the bullet here. And what's this bullet head made of?
It's just a copper jacketed bullet with a lead core. 77 grain. 77 grain is the weight. And it all depends on the twist of your barrel. Remember that. In AR-15s, it depends on the twist of your barrel. So this will work. It even says it right here on the box so you don't mess it up. Look at this. In 1 and 7 and 1 and 8 barrels only. That's it. So if you had a 1 and 9,
7 to 8 inch twist barrels.
Twist. So when they say twist,
so that's a 7 to 8 inch length barrel.
So if you have an 18-inch barrel, for every 1 inch, there's 7 twists.
Oh, okay.
So,
yeah.
So it spins the projectile inside the barrel. So this is actually a slow twist barrel.
So that every 7 to 8 inches, it does 1 360.
It twists 7 times in 1 inch.
Oh, okay.
So that's how it works. So it's kind of like a little bit of. It's kind of confusing, you know.
How long is a typical barrel on an AR-15?
About maybe anywhere from 14 to 16 inches.
Okay.
So you could usually get them in those lengths right there, and so for me, since I have a 1 and 8 twist barrel, I need to use a heavier projectile, because the lighter projectiles, it'll just spin the jacket off, and you'll get like what you call is tumbling like that. The bullet is going to tumble, and it's gonna hit your cardboard like that and make an imprint like that.
Oh yeah, it's just throwing it.
Instead of a straight hole.
Yeah.
We want
Not
a straight
arrow.
hole. And so let's size this last case right here. Size it. We go boom. Get that sucker in there. Got it. And then I'm gonna get it out because that was kind of tough. Okay, and then this falls within. 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we're gonna clean our cases off because we got a little bit of oil on it, right? We don't want the oil in the cases. We don't want that. So it's one. So this is what I do. I just clean them off, you know.
Grab your microfiber.
That's right.
We love microfibers in the motorsport world. Good for cleaning your helmet, your visor, and cameras.
Yeah, and then guess what? Like
And then
once
your bodywork and your bike, and then they turn into they downgrade to the clean, perfectly clean,
to the chain and
for the
rim rag,
lens,
right?
To secondary clean, or paint, very nice paint, to third clean for belly pan,
Yeah.
and then eventually down to the oil rags absorber.
All right. So the next step would be to load our powder charges. So I'm gonna put my 5 cases right here. 1, 2, 3.
How many do you like to do in a row of each step
4.
now, besides this demo?
Normally, maybe I'll do like a string of 1 to 200. So about 1 to 200. But I've done maybe 4 to 500 in a couple,
So you
like
mean
an hour.
for each step, you're going to do 1 to 200 in that step, next step? Okay. Just that's to make it efficient.
Yeah, exactly. So it's better to have all this stuff done beforehand because what I didn't mention was there was a whole cleaning process with shot media and water, and you clean the cases off to get the dirt out because normally raw cases are just, look at this, they're just filthy, right? So you could either tumble it with walnut media, or you could actually put it in a wet tumbler that tumbles it with steel shot, you know, and then
Kind of like you could use like a carb cleaner device at the motorcycle store, you know, where they can like a hydrojet style.
Yeah,
it work as well.
It just tumbles in there and it cleans it off, and then you gotta get all the water out or separate all the media. That's a whole different step in itself. I'm not gonna really go over that, but this next station right here is gonna put our bullets on to the preset length, and it's gonna swedge the bullets. It's gonna actually this is our hold on one second. Hey, could you guys quiet down? This particular tool right here, what it's gonna do is, it's gonna push the bullet down inside of the case to a preset depth.
Okay, so you set the depth.
Collected overall length. That's what we call it, and it's in our handbook right there. But so let's just.
40 handbook cartridge reloading.
That's right. So you could open that up and they could.
What's the other one?
Same thing, just a different book.
Oh, cool.
And so you could open it up and show them.
Oh, okay. So you're gonna have all the information.
Yeah, it has like some of our information, and this is just for, you know, some of the other. Okay, this seems to be a popular case that everybody's ranting and raving about, you know. So this is the maximum collected overall length once a bullet's on top.
6.5 Creedmoor.
Yeah, that particular case, I don't shoot that. And so this little gauge is our case checker gauge. So how do we know this is going to fit inside of our gun, right? How do we know?
This is gonna replicate your barrel.
That replicates the inside of your gun, the chamber. So that fits, right? And so all these other 5 cases are exactly identical. I could go over it, you know, over and over if I wanted. And we got another gauge, same thing. This is gonna determine our length. Our length is good.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Yep. See, so all the cases are exactly identical. 223 Remington, that's what we're doing. That's our length, we're good. If it's too long, it's not gonna fit, it could jam. All kinds of funky stuff could happen. And so we don't want that. All right, so we're gonna load our powder charge. We're gonna turn on our scale, let it 0. Okay, and then we're gonna subtract our tare weight. And so what exactly are we loading the cases to, the powder charge to? 24 grains. We're set the grains. So I have my trickler right here normally.
24 grains?
24
you mean
grains.
24 individual grains?
No, it's the weight. So
Okay.
we're gonna spin this bad boy, start getting our powder to flow out. I don't know if you can see that.
Oh, I see. It shoots. Oh, that's the way.
Yeah.
It's a device to slowly drop grain.
Yeah, and I'm just hand turning it this way because, you know, I have an automatic powder dropper right here. It's electronic. It drops the powder charges 24 grains each and every time. Perfect. plus or minus 1 grain. And so now we're approaching our limit.
Yeah, what is it? Where are you going for again?
24 grains.
Okay, 20. Yeah. So you have the other tool. Are you going to show us that? How it drops it?
That's a little bit too much, right? A little bit too heavy.
4.3.
So we're going to take this, let it drop some out. 23.19. And so if I want to get precise, I can do it.
What does it matter if that's 0.2, 0.3, 0.5? What's the difference in terms of accuracy or power?
It's mainly for burn characteristics, because this one we want the powder charges to be consistent, because that's going to affect our accuracy. That affects accuracy.
Okay.
So
for every shot.
Yeah. So every shot will be identical. That's what we're shooting for here.
How accurate is it when you buy the bullets from the factory? You know.
They're pretty good.
Have you ever dissected them to see?
Well, that's a little bit off, but I'm just going to go with that. Mm-hmm. This is just for demonstration only. And so I could get the tweezers out if I wanted to. So our first case, okay, we load that charge in there. Tap, 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 right? And so this is another step that I do, so I don't double charge anything. I move this out of the way.
Yeah, no doubt. I was like saying, you got to memorize what you're doing.
You move that out of the way, and everything.
If you double charge one, what would happen?
The bullet wouldn't even seat. It wouldn't seat. But if, let's just say, if you went over that 24 grains, maybe to 26, you would have a catastrophic failure. It could split the case, or worse yet, it could hurt you, and we don't want that.
Yeah, it could jam in the barrel.
It could hurt you.
Mm-hmm.
It could jam, yeah.
And then backfire.
It could blow your barrel up. Who knows? Something weird could happen.
Are you going to show us this automatic loader, or do you just want to stick to this?
I'll stick to this. The reason is because I have to take the automatic powder measure apart to get the powder out. So I would have loved to.
Oh yeah, just for a small demo.
Yeah.
But normally to hold a lot of powder, and it'll just do your 200 rounds or 100 rounds.
Yeah, real easy. So let's just see, we're almost there. 23.9. Okay, that's a little bit too much, but I'll just tap some off.
They come out quick.
Yeah, it comes out quick, and I'm just trying to. There we go, perfect 24, right? Yep. 24 grains. Bada bing, bada boom. Put that in there. Yeah, you see the automatic powder measure is so nice because it literally drops the charge. Like once I take this off and put it in here, and as soon as I put the pan right there, it drops a fresh charge every time. So when I'm off doing something else, it's automatically dropping the powder for me, which is nice. It's convenient.
And you have a lot of different tools for this one device. What's it called? So it's set up here.
It's a RCBS Pro 2000.
RCBS Pro. Okay, so you have the inserts and different inserts, but you could just switch quickly for the same bullet for different things, or just different bullets altogether.
It's for different calibers. So yeah, different bullets. So maybe one's for 357, the next one's for 45, 8mm Mauser, 223, and so these are already preset to the specific specifications of the case and of the bullet that we desire.
Okay.
So it's literally I just pull out 2 pins and I can change the caliber, and then I replace the base plate. So it would take me maybe 2 to 3 minutes to change between calibers.
What's special with this hammer here?
Oh, the hammer? Oh, that's in case.
Frankfurt Arsenal.
Yeah, that's to remove a bullet that I messed up. So maybe.
From where? Remove it from what?
For example, let's just say we have this is a perfect example of a reload that didn't work, right? Look what we forgot to do. Yeah, we forgot to put the primer in, right?
Primer.
And so what we would do is we take this tool.
Oh, so it was in the gun and went boom and then nothing?
Nothing happened. Well, we didn't put it in the gun, but we caught it before. So you would take this, put it inside of here. And so it's expensive, right? We just.
Oh.
And then we have our powder inside of here.
Powder's in there.
Yeah, I'm not going to reuse it. See? We can reuse our bullet. So there we go. We can reuse the case.
Neat.
Get everything reloaded, and then we could reshoot that case if we wanted. So that's just an example of one of the tools that I have to do that. And so we got this one right here, 23.6. Keep going. Oh. That's pretty much close, but I'm gonna top some off. And a little bit more. Yeah, with the stick powder, they're kind of.
Each individual grain can weigh a lot.
Yeah, it could weigh a lot, and so you could just trickle a little bit more. So this is where you gotta go slow.
It's hard to see how many are dropping in.
Barely any.
You need a scale with multiple point forms to get easier for this style.
Yeah, that's.
A couple drop there.
Yeah, but
let's say it jumps fast.
Yeah, 24.1. We're still within the spec. I'm just gonna load it to that because it's for demonstration purposes only. So that's fine. It's not gonna hurt nothing. We're still within specification. And then let me get the next two. Right. Everything reloading is based on repetition, 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 repetition. And some guys move a little bit too quick and screw all kinds of things up.
Do you have preferences of guns to do practice shooting with, or a favorite?
I prefer like a 30-06 Springfield or a 308 Winchester. So the particular kind of gun that I prefer is maybe like an M1 or a Springfield Model 1903. That's just what I prefer. You know, they're really smooth shooting guns. They're reliable. Ammunition is plentiful, and it's significantly more. It's more expensive to shoot those particular projectiles than as compared to a 223, where the 223 is more economical. The bullets are cheaper. It's cheaper per bullet. So if you'd like to target shoot a lot, you could shoot with that. If you're looking for the next step up in accuracy, you could go with one of those rifles. But it's just all personal preference, because there's people that believe that that an AR-15 is more accurate than a 30-06 Springfield Model 1903 or an M1A, but that's just what they believe, you know. But it depends on what you're using it for. So for definitely for large game, 30-06 would be my choice, because I have plenty of that lying around. For varmints, like small game, like squirrels or coyotes, you could use the 223. You could use that. Targets, 223, because you could shoot a lot, you could practice a lot, and you could take your friends out, which is good too, right? Because you could reload a lot of this stuff, and you know that you hand me $30, and then I'll reload everything for you, and then we could go out and have a good old time. So it actually cuts down on the cost if you shoot a lot, and I shoot a lot. So instead of buying store-bought ammo, I just I reload my rounds, and at the end of the day, I save a lot of money, and I recycle. Yeah, we're a little bit over right there, but we just tap it off some. And as you begin to do this more and more, you get good, and you can see how many kernels fall, and 23.9.
It might almost be easier to grab a little pinch with your fingers now.
Yeah, you don't want to do that though. You don't want to contaminate it.
So the
oil,
on it, yeah.
Or whatever else is on your finger. It'll still go bang, you know.
But yeah, why do it?
Yeah, it's a little. It's there. 24. All right. So we got our 24 grains of powder.
Can you show us this auto loader here, even though you're not using it?
Oh yeah, I can show you that.
Show us what it looks like.
So as I was saying, this would have been more convenient. Literally, you plug it in, you let it calibrate, you punch in the grains of powder you'd like, and then you hit like auto repeat. And so what the machine does is once it's filled with powder.
Okay, so you fill this whole contaminant device with powder, and then it drops it into this gold bowl.
Pan. Yep. So literally, you hit start.
And then how does it insert into the bullet?
Oh, it doesn't. All what this does is it drops the powder charge. I take the pan.
Cover. So this coverage is just a cover?
Yeah, it's a cover, yeah. That's just to protect it when it's in storage.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, so yeah, you're not going to use that while you're doing it. It's going to fill it up, and then you pour it in.
So I go over here, and I literally pour in my powder charge.
Put it
and then
back.
once I put the pan on there, on the scale.
It senses the weight?
It senses that it's empty, and it'll throw a fresh charge. And it saves you a lot of time.
Oh yeah, because I can see this is the most time consuming.
This is the most time consuming method right here. It saves you a lot of time. And so we're going to take our cases, put it on here, and we've already switched out our to our dies. And so what this is going to do is this is going to put the bullet on top of the fresh case. It's going to press it to the desired length. And then this bad boy right here is gonna swedge the bullet. It's gonna crimp it. So we're gonna do that right now. So I just go like this, bam, 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 and then I could take these cases and I could just, well, I could cheat kind of. I could just go like that. This is what's convenient. I sort of kind of got ahead of myself, right? Just put them in there like that. Put this bad boy in there like that. Okay, and so we could grab our bullets. Just grab a pinch. See, we can touch this and it's not gonna hurt anything. Put our bullet on top. And sometimes when you move too fast, I've actually done this on accident.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I've caught it and I'm like, oh man. All right, so here we go. This is the, it's gonna size our bullet. So it could be up there. Make sure it's on there straight. It's going on up. Going into the die. There we go. Boom, all the way down. Look at that. And then now we're gonna go to the next station. Grab our other bullet right here. Put it right there. Go like that. And this is gonna crimp it. Secure it on there. There we go, crimped. That's not gonna fall out. Oh, I was supposed to drop it right there, but my hand was in the way. So yeah, I was trying to get you to get the shot. It's the next step. So I'll just go fast.
Yeah, so I see it ejects it at the back.
And so if you had all your cases cleaned and prepped, ready to go, this process would be extremely quick. It would just literally be like that. And then the next step would be just to measure it, but it's already been preset, so I know it's gonna work. And I can check it again if I'd like. Oh, it's gonna work. It'll work.
Yeah.
There you go.
Show us an example of one that won't work.
One that won't work?
You just grab an old case somewhere.
Oh yeah, I could grab one that won't work. For example, do I have one? Let's see what's wrong with this one. This has been a while since I've looked at it. There could have been one that I picked up. Oh, that one works. That one will work. But for example, let's just say you didn't do a step correctly, right? That's not going to work. See, it's going to jam your gun. Or if you just pop the primer out, put in the fresh primer, and somehow you loaded a powder charge and put a bullet on top, and you crimped it, you're gonna have that. This is just another step just to check. So we could check all of our rounds that we made just to be safe. Everything is based on repetition. And the most important thing is we want to remain safe because we want to have fun, right? There we go. That'll definitely work. I'm confident in that. And some guys already know how much the projectile weighs with powder and primer, and they put it on the scale. That's just another step that competition shooters do. But I'm not a competition shooter, so it's not gonna really matter for a guy like me. But you know, you could do it if you'd like. And that's pretty much it, man. That's how we make a 223 Remington.
All right. Well, thanks, Neiven, for showing everybody.
Yeah, no problem. Hopefully, we could do some shooting videos of us shooting at reloads. You know.
That's right. That's got to come next, everybody.
Come next.
All right. Cheers, man.
Yeah.
Bye.